Make absolutely no mistake about this. This is a win.
They fight for freedom.
So yesterday at 1:30 p.m., PlayStation tweets this out. Helldivers fans, we've heard your feedback on the Helldivers 2 account linking update. The May 6th update, which would require Steam and PlayStation Network account linking for new players and end of current players beginning on May 30, will not be moving forward. We're still learning what is best for PC players, and your feedback has been invaluable. Thanks again for your continued support of Helldivers 2, and we'll keep you updated on future plans. And I don't think I've ever seen Sony, of all fucking people, walk this back.
No, we all said Sony will never do this. Like, I genuinely thought Sony was just gonna fucking
let the game die.
Let the game die. But maybe it was the refunds, because they hate refunds.
That's what it is, because it's gonna all those refunds. Look, even the refunds just from other countries they would be looking at that and they're like, there's no fucking way. Like, let's be honest. Sony just today, they're allowed to start talks with Paramount to buy out Paramount today.
Yep.
So now you have your biggest division, effectively, besides the actual TV shit, right? Their electronics division. PlayStation's their biggest division. Besides that, your biggest division has a huge PR failure and financial loss, going into talks to buy a company that is also in talks with other companies to be bought out. There's a competition. It's not good. They may have just done it for that sake. So who knows, right? Like, I think it comes down to money. Sony doesn't give a shit about fans. They don't give a fuck. They're like, whatever. People will buy our stuff, and if they don't buy our stuff, they don't. Like,
well, I mean, dude, they got fucking real hissy last time they had to do a lot of refunds, and that was Cyberpunk. Remember how fucking
that wasn't their own published game. It's even worse when it's their published game. When they're the ones that are like, oh fuck, we're on the hook for these refunds.
Yep.
At massive scale, they would be, right? So it's not good.
I kind of lean with Pirate Software on this whole thing. While this is a victory for players, you've left a lasting stain on your brand as a publisher. Many people have very little reason to trust Sony going forward. I would say you already didn't, but point stands. Moving the business before you understand the player base is never the right choice. Agree, okay? And he had another one here. This one's perfect. So this is in regards to the Helldivers 2 no longer being publishable in 177 countries and territories. He says, when this is undone, I will change my Helldivers review to back to positive. Anything less than reversing this is just words on social media. And I agree with that. As of now, to me, this is just fucking PlayStation tweeting. And why would PlayStation ever lie, right? Now, I'm not saying that they're not going to do it. I do believe they will do it. But as of now, it's still fucking there. Okay?
Yeah, it's still not done.
It's there as of now. So I don't believe you should be changing your reviews. Okay.
I will say this. I think it's obviously don't change your reviews preemptively. Just because they say they're going to do something doesn't mean they'll fall through. But it's a lot harder to change this back than it is to change it in the first place, especially with getting that game back into those countries. And I agree. Personally, I don't feel comfortable playing that game until it is back available in all the countries where it was originally sold.
Yeah,
I agree. I do believe this will be removed, but until it is, it's just words from a corporation that has lied. I don't know how many fucking times. I can't count that high.
And Sony, dude, they could change their minds in like 6 hours from now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They'd be like, fuck it, that's too much work getting it back in all those countries. We're not reverting back.
All right. So, and I believe this, many of the problems with the Helldivers drama were not addressed by the Sony tweet. I won't consider removing my negative review until they remove their need for PSN connection, which is still currently there. There it is, okay? And also, I believe the CEO caught lying red-handed as well is a fucking problem within itself.
Yeah.
But this part here, the game was sold in countries where PSN isn't available, and the CEO said he knew. Oh my god, that's bad spelling. said he knew this PSN connection would be a requirement before the launch of the game. So basically the plan was to rob everyone in those countries. That is still a problem within itself.
Yep.
Okay? Now, obviously, this can be righted. This is a wrong that can be righted. But until I actually see it, it's just words.
Well,
it's just words from corporation.
Yeah, it's not. It's fucked, man. They really should have tested the waters with this. This is a thing where you accidentally leak. You know, when companies accidentally leak, they're going to make a decision. This is what you should. Sony should have done that. They should have been like, "Oh, hey, IGN, get an employee to be like, hey, did you know that they're looking to make PSN required for Steam?" Shit, and you would have seen people get freaked the fuck out, and you wouldn't have made this mistake in the first place.
Yep. And the recent reviews are back up to mixed, which I think is preemptive, honestly. And all reviews is still currently at mixed, and that probably won't move for a while. But I think at this stage, look at this one, man, 50,000 positive in one day just from one tweet alone. Look, I just don't agree with that. I feel wait and see until they actually do it, which I do believe they will do, but it hasn't been done yet.
I feel like most people are. I think at least half are actually just waiting for it to actually be done before they change their review. What I've seen, most people are like, yeah, I'm waiting, because nothing's actually done yet. Like, a tweet means nothing. Like, it literally means nothing.
Well, like, so how long did it take for them to respond to this?
4 days.
For me, I'll give them 4 days to get this shit.
I'll one up that. I think it's going to be the end of the month when like it was originally going to tick over. I think that's when it will happen. But I believe this review score should stay low. Even if they do fix it, it should stay low as a reminder of what you fucking did. Just the same way I think Dragon's Dogma 2 should stay at mixed for what they fucking did. The same way I think Payday 3 should stay low for what they fucking did. All of them, you know, while you might like, I think Helldivers 2 is a fucking fantastic game, but that review score should stay low for what they did.
Because of,
Capcom with Dragon's Dogma 2, a lot of people love Dragon's Dogma 2, but that review should stay low for being an unoptimized, broken mess. Okay? That's just it's across the board for me when it comes to that shit. Okay?
Well, and like it's killed any enthusiasm I had left in this game. And it was starting to wane just because I felt like it felt like a slog to play through at some points. It felt like I was kind of forcing myself to play it. And I'm not saying it's a bad game, it's just
not enough content being added. And
not enough content. Especially for a live service game, there just wasn't enough content, and then put on top of that you're constantly grinding on the game, and it's like, I personally I was getting bored of it. Playing. Well, I had stopped playing the game for about like half a month before this, so me uninstalling it, I guess in solidarity, Black Power with the PC gamers, but also I probably would have uninstalled it if that next update with the Illuminated was bad.
Yeah, that's another thing, is if that update's bad, I could see a lot of people just giving up on the game as well, honestly. Because I think a lot of people are starting to go, oh, fuck, it's starting to get really repetitive. And there isn't, like, once you get all the samples, like, what else is there to really grind? You know what I mean? There needs to be another thing to grind right now. Like,
I always thought there should be an exchange would be the best way to do it. But, like, I agree. I still think the last update should have been the Illuminate. I love the idea of how this game is telling a story, you know, how, like, it's happening in real time. My thoughts on the game itself hasn't really changed. I still think it's a fucking great game. But and I agree. It's taken a little bit too long to get to the Illuminate. Like, to put it in anime and manga terms, this Cyberstan arc that we're in kind of feels like filler, so the manga can get further ahead, so the anime can catch up more. That's kind of what it feels like.
Vegeta can do his rap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's any reason to go back and change your reviews at least until it's actually been changed. But one thing that is fucking hilarious, and as much as I've been trashing the CEO, and I'm going to continue to do so, he's got one idea that is god tier and fucking hilarious. So, do you know what this is?
No.
That
These
is
are the
the
Steam
negative
review
review
scores.
graph. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
saying we should turn that into a cape. That's pretty
Okay.
fucking funny.
That's
It
cool.
is. It is as long
Uh,
as you fucking fix the game
Fix the
and,
problem.
Yeah.
and
That's
get it
what I think
back
it
to
should
where
do.
it was at launch.
Get back to where
If
it
you
was.
don't,
Put this in there as a constant reminder and as like a scar on yourself. That's
Like-
funny and
Yeah.
shows humility, and that's a great thing. Immortalizing your own fuck up.